Every morning, as the dawn light gently breaks across the quiet, off-grid farms of the Amish, a soothing rhythm of life begins again. In kitchens fragrant with wood smoke after a banana is peeled to provide energy for a day of hard labor, the yellow, brown-flecked peel is often unthinkingly tossed into the trash by modern humanity. But in the philosophy of self-sufficiency, where all things carry a cyclical purpose, that act of discarding is akin to throwing away one of Mother Earth's most precious treasures. Statistics suggest that an average family consumes roughly 5 bananas a week. This means that week after week, millions of people are throwing away a free renewable resource, abandoning the opportunity to provide an enduring source of nourishment for their gardens. In the natural world, the concept of waste does not exist. There are only sources of energy waiting to be transmuted. Today, we will step back, setting aside those expensive bags of synthetic fertilizer on the store shelves to learn how the gardeners of old utilized this rustic byproduct, transforming it into an ecological superfood that helps the fruits in the garden grow larger, sweeter, and more resilient against the harsh fluctuations of the weather. The secret lies in how we treat that fragile peel. Within the Amish treasury of agrarian philosophy, there are 4 methods to return the banana peel to the earth, ranging from the quiet patience of time to explosive immediate impacts. The first method, and the most ancient ritual, is whole burial. When spring arrives, as the tender tomato, bell pepper, or eggplant seedlings are brought out from the nursery to face the frost and wind of the open field, the farmer uses a small spade to dig a planting hole just a little deeper than usual. Before laying that fragile root system down, they unhurriedly place 1 or 2 banana peels right at the bottom of the hole, tearing them slightly by hand and covering them with a thin, 3-centimeter blanket of loamy earth. As the young plant grows, the banana peel silently decomposes in the dark below. It releases a dense, abundant reserve of potassium, calcium, and magnesium, blending directly into the space surrounding the tender, nutrient-thirsty roots. This ritual costs you a mere 10 seconds, yet it establishes a steadfast energy reserve, nourishing the plant throughout a grueling growing season, without costing a single copper coin. If you take a stroll along the vegetable rows in the sweltering heat of midsummer, when the earth begins to exhale its moisture under the blazing sun, you will encounter the second method, the art of mulching. Rather than burying it, the gardener takes a blade and slices the peel into small, knuckle-sized squares, scattering them sparsely across the soil surface surrounding the base of the plant. The crux of this delicate art is that they never leave the peels exposed and bare beneath the sun. They always gently cover them with a thin cloak of aged straw or dry leaves. This fragile blanket prevents the peels from shriveling and drying out, while simultaneously deterring the prying eyes of fruit flies or slugs. Beneath the cool, damp straw, the peel fragments will decompose smoothly within a few weeks, distilling their nutrients to gradually seep into the topsoil. Remember, moderation is the key to nature. Merely 1 or 2 chopped peels per square meter is enough to make a profound difference, avoiding excess buildup that could smother the soil's ability to breathe. The third method brings us to the beating heart of an ecological farm, the compost heap, or the beds of lasagna gardening. In the art of composting, the banana peel is revered as a magnificent green catalyst. It carries not only an abundant source of potassium, but also a significant volume of nitrogen, helping the decomposition process unfold at a vastly accelerated pace compared to dry twigs and fallen leaves. When you engineer a new planting bed by stacking layers of organic material, placing strips of banana peel sandwiched between the cardboard base and the first layer of dry leaves, will ignite the awakening of the decomposing microbes. The peel gracefully melts into the architecture of the compost heap, transmuting rustic kitchen scraps into pitch-black humus, carrying the fragrant, earthy scent of the old-growth forest. However, there is a fourth method, a quiet secret that many modern gardeners often miss: the brewing of a pure banana peel tea. While the first three methods demand the patience of time, this biological tea delivers an immediate restorative power. Simply gather 3 to 4 fresh banana peels, chop them finely, and drop them into a glass mason jar filled with roughly a quart of rainwater or chlorine-free water. Rest the lid loosely on top and let the jar sit in a quiet corner of the kitchen for 24 to 48 hours. The water will slowly draw out the essence minerals and potassium from the peels, transforming into a soothing, pale amber hue. After straining away the pulp, dilute this essence with 3 parts clean water and generously drench the earth around the base of tomato plants showing signs of weariness, pepper plants struggling to set fruit, or any potted plant bearing yellowing leaf margins. Because the nutrients have fully dissolved into the water, the roots do not need to waste time waiting for microbes to break them down. They will instantly absorb that absolute power into their vascular tissue in a matter of mere hours. The resurrection of a plant sometimes stems from the most rustic of things. And this ecological tea is proof that you can revive the life force of your garden in just 3 days, entirely without chemical intervention. Dear friend, as we contemplate the magnificent cycle of Mother Earth and how things seemingly meant for the trash harbor the power to heal, perhaps you too are feeling a gentle purification in your soul. Learning to harness every gift of nature, rejecting a lifestyle of wasteful consumption, is a journey back to true freedom, absolute stillness, and economic autonomy. If you are yearning to build a self-sufficient living space, casting off the noisy worries of the world, to cultivate a healing garden for your family, then we are walking the same meditative path. Please take a peaceful moment to gently press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your rustic shared comments about your love for flora are the warmest fire, giving me the vital energy to continue wandering and unearthing traditional ecological philosophies, returning the heirloom seeds of understanding safely back into your hands. Perhaps by now you are wondering why a humble element like potassium possesses such immense power. In the late 19th century, as plant physiologists began to decode the chemical language of nature, potassium was honored as one of the 3 foundational pillars of botanical life. Its 4 magnificent roles dictate the absolute quality of the harvest. First, potassium is the gatekeeper of the hydraulic system. It meticulously regulates the opening and closing of the microscopic stomata on the leaves, finely controlling the flow of water. In the absence of potassium, the plant loses water faster than it can draw it up, causing the leaves to wilt and droop heavily, even when the earth remains damp. Second, potassium is the master key that ignites photosynthesis, activating the enzymes that forge sugars and starches. Without it, the plant cannot synthesize its own food, leading to a complete and devastating stagnation. Third, this element fortifies the cell walls, weaving an unyielding biological armor that prevents fungal spores and pathogens from easily piercing through. And fourth, the greatest blessing for the gardener, potassium, is the architect of flavor and size. The difference between a bland, mottled yellow-green tomato and a deeply crimson, heavy, wildly sweet heirloom tomato almost always lies in the volume of potassium the plant received during its fruiting phase. When analyzing its structure, the scientific community was astounded to discover that roughly 42% of the dry weight of a banana peel is pure potassium. This concentration is higher than any other kitchen scrap, far exceeding the capacity of many conventional fertilizers. But how can we hear the plant's cry for help when it starves for this miraculous element? The language of plants is profoundly delicate. It expresses itself through quiet symptoms. If you closely observe the older leaves near the base, you will notice the margins and tips beginning to turn a dry, scorched brown, as if burned by intense heat. This symptom slowly creeps from the leaf edges toward the center, creating a phenomenon known as marginal necrosis. Tomatoes lacking potassium will ripen unevenly, bearing patchy, sickly yellow shoulders against a red background. Peppers and squash will shrivel, becoming stunted, and the growth rate of the entire garden will heartbreakingly stall. If you are observant enough to recognize these whispers and immediately soothe them with cups of banana peel tea, you will witness a miraculous resurrection in just 5 to 7 days. To sustain an enduring abundance, we require a gentle, rhythmic care. For vibrantly green, healthy plants, a drench of banana peel tea or a light mulching every 2 to 3 weeks is flawless nourishment. But the true majesty of the art of ecological gardening lies not just in the use of a single ingredient, but in the harmonious intersection of multiple elements. Imagine a tiny ecosystem that you can architect with your own hands every single morning. The used coffee grounds, emptied from the morning press, provide nitrogen and summon the earthworms to till the soil. The crushed eggshells carry calcium to construct unyielding stability, and the banana peel delivers potassium to regulate the flow of life. Those 3 humble kitchen scraps, when woven together, forge a system of ecological compound interest. The nitrogen from the coffee feeds the bacteria dissolve the calcium from the eggshells, and the potassium from the banana peel transports those nutrients throughout the very body of the plant. You have successfully engineered a flawless soil restoration program costing not a single penny, generating no industrial smog, built purely from love and patience. There is a quiet, lingering worry that often creeps into the minds of modern gardeners. Do banana peels purchased from commercial supermarkets grown through conventional methods carry chemical residues that might harm the soil's microbial life? Do not be overly anxious, for nature possesses a magnificent power of purification. Studies have confirmed that in an environment of healthy, loamy humus, where billions of microbes are working in rhythmic harmony, the fragile chemical traces on fruit skins will be broken down, degraded, and highly effectively neutralized by this microbial network long before the roots can absorb them. That loose, friable earth acts as Mother Earth's colossal biological filter. Of course, if you have access to pure organic bananas, that is always the absolute ideal. But if you cannot rest assured that the abundant potassium and biological benefits that the peel bestows upon the earth far outweigh those theoretical anxieties. In a world overflowing with rushed consumer choices, every morning when you peel a banana, you face a quiet decision. You can drop that peel into the trash bin, surrendering it to massive, suffocating landfills, letting it sink into oblivion. Or you can save it, place it on a wooden cutting board, chop it fine, and return it to the earth. That tiny decision does not merely save a plant thirsting for nourishment. It is an awakening, a profound connection to the endless flowing rhythm of nature. All of creation yearns to be healed and sheltered. Begin with the simplest of things, the most rustic of ingredients, and quietly observe how your garden rewards you with the sweetest of harvests.